Alrighty there, yo! Welcome back to Get Going Fast. We're here on our weekly review and our flagship project. There's so much that happens every week that I find that these things are important. So it looks like we are going over here. I always like to pop on over just to make sure that that handsome devil is showing up over there, which he seems to be. So I'd say that we're on a good track. As usual, going to wait around just a minute or two for people to pop in. I bet there's a way that you set this up and get it ready to go so that people can kind of join in before you start live streaming. But I'm not the one that knows it. It's funny. I had this buddy, redneck buddy, up in Washington. Hold on, getting my shoes on here, right? And great guy, knows a lot about different things, but that culture often you'll find it's kind of shameful to not know something, or at least I don't know if it's shameful, but you know how fellas are. They'll give you a hard time, and so there were certain things he wouldn't know, but he wouldn't say nothing. And then I'd come out and be like, I don't know anything about this. He'd show me his guns, he'd show me his ammo stuff, and I'd be like, I don't know. Teach me. And I think it always kind of blew his mind because that's kind of not the culture he's coming from. Like, you kind of go, oh, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And the bottom line of that story is you only can know what you know, right? You know the things that you know, and the stuff you don't know, you got to learn. So I talked so long, I forgot the whole point of that. But there's a lot going on every week with this AI stuff, and it can get overwhelming with the amount of content that's coming out every day. I mean, a week, it's like the news cycle, You check the news one day and this is happening, then a week later it's like, oh my God, what? So AI is kind of the same, just a lot of stuff happening. And so this week there was a ton. Now, it doesn't look like we got anyone popping in here just yet, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and start up the process regardless. Okay. I can go over here really fast, and let's make sure that we're streaming over on the getgoingfast.pro page as well. And it looks like we are. Process. Look at that guy. All right. So let's go close this nonsense out. Oh, 9-layered Nigel just showed up. Hey, Nigel, good to see you. Yo. Nigel is the only fella here that's been consistently sharing stuff, and so kudos to him. So as long as it's fine with him, we're going to promote his latest video that he's put together. In fact, Nigel, I'm going to really encourage you to get yourself a free website somewhere and start posting your videos, or make a YouTube site, start posting your shorts up there, because you might as well. Why not? One hits it big and boom. Get yourself a little bit of accolades, and then I can promote you too. I can be like, hey guys, this is his page, yo. Got a message that just came in. Let me respond to that. Real life just popped in. Okay, well, let's get over to our weekly review here. We had a big week. Like I said, I actually got a lot done, which is good. Okay, so. But we'll start here. Okay, so updating all software for the 50 series of NVIDIA cards. Now, as you guys might know, the new 50s cards are obviously awesome. It's great. Listen, hey, go get one, yo. But it changes stuff up with the apps. So some apps that aren't working, all of a sudden that were working all of a sudden don't work. And the main reason with that is going to be your torch. Okay, this is one of the biggest things here. You notice when we install our torch, we can install 11.8, 12.6. This 12.8 was not there for a long time because they didn't have it out. The 50s card hadn't come out. And so almost everything that we install, we've installed with 12.6. Okay, so the big issue is when you have a 50s card, you need to be installing Torch 12.8. Okay, so you can just copy this. Now they use pip 3. I'm not quite sure the difference between pip and pip 3 is, other than there actually are two different apps. So I don't copy this part. I just do a pip install. But anyways, copy this. This is the main issue with getting these things going. Then, of course, when you're installing your Sage attentions and your Flash attentions, you got to update that as well. But we went ahead and went that, and we updated a bunch of stuff. VisoMaster is now compatible with the RTX 50 series. This is just the manual version, though, not the portable version. So the manual one, again, it's like working on your own car. It's nice because you know the components that go in there. You can change it out. When you start using the portable, you're using someone else's. Stuff. So it's like having a BMW, and you can't work on it yourself. You got to take it into the special BMW shop. And so, unfortunately, unless VisoMaster fixes their portable to work with the 50 series, no good. But that's not a big deal for us because we're that cool type that oh shit, what do I do? That we have our manual. So you can just click here and get to the manual. Okay, there we go. Okay, so went ahead and updated that. Went ahead and made a video on how to do it, so you can go ahead and do it yourself. It's kind of interesting. This is, I think both of these images were done by ChatGPT. This one I just asked it to be more photorealistic. So notice it got pretty similar images. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Okay, FramePack Studio now compatible with the 50 series, so I went ahead and updated that as well. FramePack, of course, is just awesomeness in a box. So much good stuff going on with that. And I've been talking with Colin Herbs, of course, who is the developer of FramePack Studio, and he's got another big update coming out. So this guy is working, every day after work. It's his thing. This is what he wants to do. And so him and I will be talking within another couple more days, and he'll be updating me on the big coming updates. Okay, so there's big stuff coming up. There's going to be stuff, I think we're going to be able to actually target individual parts of the screen, which is just kind of mind-boggling. And so I will try to assimilate that and get that information to you. But again, we've partnered with FramePack Studio, and so you're going to get the news here first, okay? Like, upon release, there will be video. Okay, we updated this SVFR. Okay, it's just a little image resolution software that, it's okay, it's great, it's fine, whatever, works. But again, it wasn't working with the 50 series. You would not be surprised. You would be surprised. You would be shocked, right, at how much time went into getting this thing to work on the 50 series. But I can tell you, it works on the 50 series. Okay, I do want to point out that a lot of this video resolution software does not work great because it is very image intensive. Okay, so you guys know when we're creating stuff with Vace or with whatever, WAN or HoneyWan, it takes a while. Well, now you can imagine taking video and doing that. It's busting it down, digitizing it, working on it, sending it back out, that kind of stuff. So you could get a lot of out of memory errors. Honestly, I think that video, my opinion, I could be wrong. You're welcome to correct me, please. Please correct me, please. I honestly think that big boy video restoration belongs to the ones with big boxes. I think if you had an what is it, an H1000 or an A1000, whatever. If you had 96 gigabytes of VRAM, I think then you're getting in the realm of actually being able to be productive with this stuff, because you can get stuff done, but it's like on a 2 to 3 second level. But it's still interesting. You still do stuff. You can also notice it uses the ESRGAN. So I think with really old videos, it might be worth it. But you're certainly not going to be getting 4K stuff out of this. But again, I'm just telling you all the bad stuff. I'm just telling you all the negative stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in here, and it's certainly worth your time. But I do want, we got to temper our expectations. Okay, Google Jules, the AI that programs inside your GitHub. So we played with this. In fact, I should actually pull this up. Well, we played with this at any rate, and let's see. If we hit play here and mute this bad boy, you're going to see that in here, you actually can get inside here, and you give it access to your GitHub repository, where your code is. And this thing will code for you, and it will actually change it within inside your GitHub. So not only will it pull your code out, it will change it and then save it and update it and make branches. So pretty cool stuff. We played with it, and I actually used this to fix up Kokoro. You know, the Kokoro, you can go find over that kokoro.getgoingfast.pro. And you can actually get that here. This is a great streaming application here. So very good application. But we actually shorted up using Google Joules. Okay, gave it access. It found the code. We said, hey, do it, and it did it. So there you go. Okay, a reminder that you can open your terminal as administrator. This is important when there's so much stuff that we have to do with the command line in admin mode. And when we just open up our command prompt, it does not open up into admin mode. It opens up normal mode. And so we have to like right click on it and say open as administrator. Well, if you go over here to this little blog here, you can get a registry script. And if you install that into your registry, and there's a way to uninstall it too, you can see it, whatever you want. You can add a little function so that when you're in the folder you're working, you can just right click and open that folder up as admin. And the reason that's important is if you're drilled in, you're like in a folder C, images, ComfyUI, models, you know, checkpoints, blah, 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 blah. If you go the back way through that, you're going to have to type all of that in to get to that folder. Whereas if you put in this script, you can just right click when you're in the file explorer itself and it will pop open and you are there. Yo, I mean, come on, what's up? So as usual, you know, when you're doing stuff in scripts, you got to be careful. So what I would do is you go over here to the blog, okay, grab it, throw it into ChatGPT and just ask if it's safe, right? Anybody, I mean, I know you guys trust me, you know, and that's cool, and I appreciate that. At the same time, it's good practice to throw stuff into a chatbot and just say, hey, I think this is fine, but can you check it? Just make sure there's nothing nefarious. All right. So it looks like Malcolm just popped in. Good to see you, Malcolm. Juan 2.1 fun. ControlNet looks good. Okay, we'll have to take a look at that here in a little bit. Okay, this is cool. The Focus installer. So we got this working for, oh, damn it. Hold on a second. What have I done? We got this working with the 50 series again. Focus is a great little app. It really easy image generator. This is like a starter app. If you just want to get into image generating, you want to do a lot of stuff with it, get Focus. It's really not that difficult, and you have like 50 different styles that you can do. This is made by Elias Veal, the same guy that made the original frame pack. So I mean, it's big brain stuff. Focus is awesome. It's really good. Okay. And it's kind of thing like if you want to get your mom or your dad or your uncles, your cousins, like they don't know much about AI, but they got a computer that can run it, you know, get them Focus. This is a excellent starting app here. Okay. And we went ahead and made it free for we made it with the 50s series. So you can get this as a farmhand as well. So, okay, what did I do here? Oh, I clicked that. All right. We had our live Q&A. Our live Q&A last week was on fire. It was a lot of fun. Nigel says that he uses Focus for his video image starts. Yep. Yeah, that's great, because what we're doing with this image to video is we're starting with an image and then we're saying extend it and animate it. So it's a great point. A lot of people use Flux. Flux takes a long time and can be difficult going. And to be honest, if you're looking at that, that's pretty darn good quality to start with. So good thinking by Nigel there. Okay, we got Roop now working with the RTX 50. So Roop, of course, is the original face swap. People love Roop. Now this one's called Roop Floyd because the guy that had originally unleashed it is a guy named Count Floyd, and he got it taken down, and so I saved it over at Codeberg. You can always find Roop just by doing a search online. So yeah, this does not work anymore. So you can do Roop Codeberg, and you'll find it here under CogniBuild. But you can get it as well, just really easy by going to roop.getgoingfast.pro. And there you have it. Okay, so you can get it for there, free for all farmhand members as usual. Which is the great thing about Get Going Fast is honestly, you can play around with a ton of stuff, get it installed quickly, get installed fast. If you got friends that are wanting to get into it, getting them a membership at Get Going Fast is actually a great way to do it because they can actually pretty much find whatever they want. You can just go to list.getgoingfast. They can got a list here: face swapping, video gen, image generation, audio generation, text generation. So they can find the thing that they like. Everyone likes certain things. Again, my favorite, I love text generation. I spend all this time on image and video generation because that's what you guys like. But I love talking to chatbots. All right. But you can find it all. List.getgoingfast.pro. All right. Okay, here's a video again, how I updated Roop so you can do it yourself. Okay, this was kind of fun. We went ahead and used Roop to make a video. Here, this is a Buster Keaton video. You see this one actually did really good. Cut my face on there. It's a great software. Again, I like Rope better because Rope has more settings. So Rope pretty much just does the job, but then you can't tweak it a whole lot. With Rope, you can really tweak it. All right. Okay, and then we get into the big boy of the week, and that was our Vace. So Vace is here, and it's excellent. We went ahead and made a GGUF model manager as well as the full model manager here. This, again, is available for all farmhand members. You can get that for free as part of your membership, so you can play with that. You just got to put it inside the ComfyUI folder, okay, or just outside of it, and it will go ahead and do it. Nice thing about the model managers is you can get the stuff and download it, delete it, just really easy. So it saves space. Now, mostly I've been working with the GGUF versions. God, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze here. I'm trying to hold it back. I just like it because you can really drill into the actual. Where did that go? Hold on a second. You can actually really drill into the balance you want between speed and quality. So with GGUF, of course, you can get anywhere from 3 all the way up to the full FP16 or 32 or whatever. So you can do things. I've been working with a Q5, so this isn't the best video in the world, but you notice that background's really nice. One of the things I've noticed about Vace too is it does people really well. So, you know, like when you do Flux, you do a girl, she always look kind of the same, right? Or certain things, you do a guy and he always kind of has the same features. Vace actually makes more, I think, more realistic looking people, makes features look more, more whatever, you know, normal, you know. So I like Vace and I like the GGUF model, but again, you have the 1.3 billion model as well. Yeah, Hank's freaking out because Hanky has just came in. Welcome, Hank. He's freaking out because we're in ComfyUI. Can't get around ComfyUI. There's just no way around it. If you really want to play with this stuff, you got to do it. So again, we have the GGUF model manager, so that goes really easy. And again, I went ahead and created a video. Here's the full 1.3 billion model things here. This is actually, before we move on, notice this is kind of interesting. This is all video to video stuff. Okay. So I made like 4 different things. Started out with Vidal-Cocoon gave me a pretty sexy photo of a gal walking through here, and I put it in there and we changed it into this larger gal, and then I turned it into a Teletubby, and then I turned it into a skeleton. So there's a lot there. And then here is the tutorial on how to use the workflows. It's all about the Vace. All about the Vace. No trouble. And this is actually a pretty good video for you to watch because it shows how to use the workflows. The workflows are not incredibly highly intuitive, but I'll show you a few things. And honestly, that's going to be our live stream, our weekly focus. Okay, here's the AI brews again. Great content. A lot of new focus on new chat models, LLM models. Again, as I've talked, this stuff comes in cycles, yo. They'll get all of a sudden you get a bunch of video stuff, then you get a bunch of image stuff, and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of audio stuff, and then the face swap is. It's just like they've got different projects that they have on a calendar, it seems, and they say let's work on this, or else they release it in. I don't know if there's a coordinated effort. Probably, they release it in. Chunks say, okay, now we're going to release the audio stuff. Now we're going to release this with image and video getting the main focus. All right, Christian Animations just dropped in. Topaz is really good even with 50 series card if the proper settings are placed, at least for AI short video improvements, but it's expensive. Takes a while for some longer videos. Yeah, that's the stuff. Obviously the paid stuff is better, than the open source, but that's kind of why we focus on the open source, because it's a hobby, and we want to be able to do this stuff on our computer, and the stuff is getting better and better. I think, again, by the time you give us a year or so, and it's going to be getting better and better. So my belief is that they're going to get to a point within the next couple of years where you have to have supercomputers in your house, and so we'll probably rent them just like we do our Comcast or your Dish TV or whatever. You'll just get a supercomputer server or something that's installed in your house with your LLM in it to run everything. It's actually kind of scary because you'll be getting corporate LLMs running your house, but whatever. But the stuff's getting better and better, and honestly, again, even with the Vace stuff, we're getting higher and higher quality of video. Look at this chick here. I mean, that's really high quality. Now it's got a little bit of hash in there, and I think that's a T-cache issue. Notice it goes fuzzy for a second, but that's really high quality. And when we get to a point where you can extend that out, it's going to be amazing. Now with Vace, you can actually extend out to 11-second videos for not much of a cost than the other ones. So Vace has got some stuff going for it, but we'll talk more about that. All right. All right. I went ahead and uploaded this ComfyUI portrait installer. This is kind of a cheat thing. I'm adding it in just because I actually we uploaded this week, so technically this is part of the next week's stuff, but I'll just, since it's up here, the ComfyUI portrait installer, this is free for prairie dogs, so you don't have to be a farmhand to get this. You get this as a prairie dog, and pretty much you put in an image, 2 images, the one that you're going to do the work on, and then the one you're doing the work from, you're copying, and it basically takes the facial expressions and puts it on to there. This was kind of interesting because I took this beautiful gal here, and she kind of moves around, and I couldn't really find a good photo, so I just threw this one of myself in, and it actually, look at it, softened my eyes, kind of feminized the eyes. So that's actually kind of interesting that it did that well. But again, this is the kind of project I don't totally dig a whole lot, because they're just, I don't like stuff that it has to be really exacting, and so like in this one you've got to have pretty much exact images. You got to have squares, or if you don't, it kind of works. It still has to be within this range. You can get dimension errors, and at the end of the day, I threw in a larger picture thinking this was going to be like, oh, it's going to copy body movement, and it doesn't. So even though I threw in a bigger picture, it still just took the face. So this is using face detection technology and emulating it to whatever you've done here. So that's okay. It's not a bad project. It's certainly worth playing with. But, again, I gave it to the prairie dogs. You guys can play around with this, see what you can do with it. Okay, and then I think we don't need to go deep in this. I'm going to do a deep dive into this, probably do a video on this. Unmasking the gift, DeepSeek's inevitable slide into censorship. If you remember, I did a video on this. See if it'll pop up like this. I did a video here, first look at DeepSeek, but I did another one as well that basically talks about what you're giving away to these companies when you start using their LLMs, because they do come with censorship. And so, see if I can find that thing really quick. So anyway, this article is pointing out that sure enough, DeepSeek is starting to move into the realm of greater and greater censorship, which should not be a surprise to anyone, because that's what communists do. And DeepSeek is a Chinese government influenced LLM. So it is the rise of cheap LLMs, the blueprint for influence. This is a good one that I put together. You can watch this, and I make my argument for not for saying to not use it, but for saying, we need to kind of keep our eye on this. Okay, so that's a good one to watch, and we're going to talk more about that this week as well. Okay, point popped in. I don't think Topaz is the best anymore. There was one that segments by scenes and actually prompts itself and stuff. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about paying for stuff online. Okay, so I pay for ChatGPT for my image generation, and that's about it. Okay, weekly review and flagship project. So this is our weekly review. We're going to work with Vace. So guys, I want you to work with Vace today. You can install it yourself if you want by going, watch the video. Basically, you need to find, you can do a search for Vace GGF. Basically, you need to get the workflow. Here, you can find it at Quant Factory. Go to your files and versions. Down here, oh, this isn't it. Well, it's by Quant Factory. So you can drill in through Quant Factory, find their Vace stuff, and then you just get the workflow. And once you get the workflow, then it'll show you the models that you need. Okay, so when you get the models, then you download them all out. But as well, you can also just go to vace.getgoingfast.pro, and you can download the GGF model here or the diffusion model manager here if you want to work with the straight 1.3b. I'm going to tell you, if you try to use the straight 14b model, it's not going to work. It's too big for your machine. So the 1.3 actually is pretty impressive. But here's the thing, if you go with the GGF model manager, then you get to work with the 14 billion model, but it's quantized. Okay, so it's it's been nerfed a little bit. But it's still good. You can still see all the stuff that we're getting out of this. So our flagship project this week is to get that going, make some stuff in Vace, test it out. And I want you to test out the text to video, the image to video, and the video to video. I want you to do all of them, okay? And when we're going to be looking at this workflow, you're going to see that down here you've got this load reference image, load control video, and you got this image processing. Okay, this is all the same workflow. Now, sometimes you'll see things that's going to say that you've got 3 different workflows. All it is that these different ones are blanked out. So notice over here we went to add nodes, and we went to, what did we go to? We went to RG3, and there's a fast bypasser or a fast groups muter or whatever. One of these ones. Fast groups bypasser, that one right there. And it adds this, and it shows all of the different groups, and then you can just click these to see. I click that, and that goes off, goes on. So these bottom 3 are the ones you'll look at. If they're all off, it's text to video. Okay, if the load image is on, then it's image to video. If we turn that off and turn the video one on, then it is, whoops, there we go. That's video to video. So I want you to play around with those, see what you can do, and get that going. Now you can, as a bonus, what you can do is you can add Reactor. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to do it right now. We'll save that for the live Q&A on Wednesday. Okay, but I want you to see if you can figure out how to add a Reactor node to it. Okay, add node. I will show you. You can go here, add node Reactor. And you're going to want to grab, probably, I think it's your fast face swap. So put that in there. See if you can figure out how you could create something like this, but put it directly into there. Okay, that is your challenge for the week. again, we'll talk about, I'll show you how to do it on Wednesday if you haven't figured it out. Let's see, I think Nigel went ahead and uploaded a video. So let's take a look at what Nigel's done. Nigel, again, is the one that's been consistently, that has been consistently uploading stuff. So kudos to Nigel, okay, for that. You guys should be coming over to the Discord and sharing your stuff, though, so that I can share it. So let's go ahead and load his latest video. Oops. And he's been putting music. He's been really putting a lot of work into this stuff. So this is really great. Okay, I'm going to mute this, and hopefully I remember to turn it back on again. Here we go. Kudos to Nigel, the winner of the week.
Is it here?
You're late.
I've got the money.
And there you go. Wow, good job, Nigel. That's fantastic stuff. That guy on there was really that's really great. God. Good Lord, I would not be buying anything from that gal, I'll tell you what. Like catching something from that gal. Yeah, this is good stuff. So Nigel's been putting these together. Again, as I mentioned before, Nigel, you should be putting these on YouTube. In fact, you know, all you guys should be putting your stuff up. Get yourself an ego page, a page where you can post your stuff. And then when you share stuff, I would happy to post it. Be like, hey, this guy did this. This is his site. Check it out. Find a place where you can put all your stuff and we can shoot people to. Okay. Nigel said it needs more volume. Could you guys hear that? Was it loud enough on my system? Okay, one thing you can do, Nigel, to update the sound on that. Here, let me show you really quickly. If you get a video like that, the sound, let's just go to ChatGPT. And let's say that the name of that was Nige.mp4. So what we would do is say this. Let's say, I created a video called Nige.mp4, but the volume, oh, whoops, hold on. Okay, we're over here. Sorry. I created a video called Nige.mp4, but the volume is too low. Using FFmpeg, help me to increase the volume 200%. Okay, then ChatGPT will pop out, and then there you go. So it's going to give you an answer. Then just go to the folder that the video's in, open it up in command line, and run that, and then it will create something called it'll create an output of it. Okay, so notice it'll create a folder. It'll create a file called Nige Louder. So ChatGPT is really good for that. FFmpeg is a great way to deal with your videos after the fact. You can also use it to put titles on it, all that good stuff. FFmpeg is very cool. Okay, I think we're going to end it there. Yes, Nigel's saying it's difficult to know if the speakers are too low or high. Just right. Believe me, I know exactly what you're talking about with the volume issues. Okay, I think we'll end it there. I do want to encourage you guys to do a search on YT Music, or you listen to Spotify or listen to whatever. Do a search for Jim Day and the Better Stories. And just check out my music. It helps, gets me out there. Here's a song about my self-driving truck, which drove away. I wrote this.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Oh my gosh.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
You know, it'd be
I can
nice if
ask.
I could.
But he's not going to. Only pay for what you
I always forget these stupid advertisements coming. So they got free advertisements for me. But here we go. Listen to this good stuff. That guy's self-driving truck.
Pickup truck that's high-tech and strange. Got a self-driving Ford with a mind of its own. Guess I should have known it wouldn't stay home. She left me in the dust, took off down the road, didn't even glance back
All right, so you guys get the idea there. All right, we're going to end it there. So big week. I think this week we got a few things that we're going to work on. So again, like I said, I'm going to probably do a deep dive into the DeepSeek stuff again, talking about Chinese censorship and the LLMs. We got more projects that I need to get sorted out. For the 50 series, I feel like there was something else that I was going to mention. There's some other projects that we're going to mention. I do have a GLM that Hanky was teaching us about. So that I was going to show you this really quickly. We are going to work on this week. So doing a GLM locally that will program for us. So Hanky was showing me how to use this thing. I made this all in a one-shot sort of thing. This is an ASCII converter. I'll probably be putting this up for download later if people want it. But notice you can take an image and it turns it into ASCII code, okay? And it'll actually change things up. You can do a colored preview. There you go. And if you zoom in on this stuff, you'll notice it's all symbols, which is really cool. Okay, and this actually works with videos too. So let's go to a video here. Oh no, I think I threw away all my videos. Let's see here. So that's pretty awesome. And I did this all with the local LLM that programmed it for me. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do this, not necessarily create an ASCII creator, but how to create the model that runs this stuff. This is cool stuff. Okay, so Hank says Vace versus FramePack. So before we go, we'll answer Hank's question. So FramePack Studio. So first of all, I would use FramePack Studio, not FramePack. So FramePack's cool, okay, but FramePack Studio is the plus version of FramePack. So it's a back and forth. Vace is nice because you just, in your ComfyUI, you can pop in there and you can use it and create stuff within 2 to 3 minutes. But honestly, FramePack Studio, you can do the same thing. I like Vace's people. I like the people it makes. The arms, the breast, the face, everything. It looks unique. FramePack Studio, I think its strength is image to video. So if you get a good image anyways, you're going to throw it into FramePack Studio and it's going to pop it out there. So Point says, Vace, you can use LoRa's that the community and yourself have made. Okay, with FramePack Studio, you can use LoRa's as well, guys. So just kind of an FYI on that. So that's not just a Vace thing. But the thing about, and with FramePack Studio, by the way, you can actually load the nodes into your ComfyUI as well. So it's not really, I think Vace is very good. I honestly been speaking with Colin. I think that Colin should make a Vace Studio, honestly. Keep his studio and then be able to load different models into that. But it really just depends on what you want. Hank, you're going to like FramePack Studio because you don't have to use ComfyUI. And it's comparable on the time. And plus FramePack Studio is getting updated daily. So there's basically a nightly build on that. But like I said, we're going to be coming out here with the next couple days with a major update that Colin is releasing. He's releasing to us. We're partnering with FramePack, which is cool, FramePack Studio, which is cool. So you guys will get all the information straight up, yo. But I don't know. You guys go out there, try them both. Tell me what you think is the best. Do a comparison video, and I will host you on here. Get yourself an ego page where you can post your stuff, okay? And I will promote you and tell people to go there to your ego page and look at your stuff, okay? All right, with that, I think we're going to end it here. I want you guys to have a good rest of your day. It is summertime, so be sure to get out and get some sun, okay? I saw my legs the other day, and I about went blind, okay? Oh, good Lord, okay? It was a full moon. And that was just my legs, not even my moon. So get out there, get some sun, get to the river, do it up, call your mom, tell her you're thinking about her. We will catch you later, and